Thank you. My name is Tim Dolden from Lorritus. Lorritus has patented systems that recover value from any form of organic material. The benefit of our system is that there's virtually no emissions in the processing. We have no residual solid waste after the processing. And most uniquely, our process, which is a process of hydrothermal carbonization, actually uses the moisture content inherent in organic material as the catalyst for the process. So what you'll see typically is in a number of common solutions, and we could also add pyrolysis here, is the requirement to drive off or minimize moisture in your organic material. So if you're looking at food waste, if you're looking at sewage sludge, if you're looking at food processing residual material, that can be abattoir waste, that can be poultry offal, these organic waste streams have high amounts of moisture in it. For hydrothermal carbonization and our process, we use that water to carbonize the material, separating and breaking out most of the moisture from that material to make it a viable biofuel and also to make it a set of fertility products. The biofuel is equivalent to a biocoal. It can be substituted for wood chips or the mined equivalent, which helps you reduce your emissions profile without investing in upgrades to your facilities. Looking at where we're going with this technology, we found a welcome home in food production. So if we look at Scotland as an example, with foot and mouth disease happening, with the mad cow phenomenon that took place, all of the abattoir waste, all of the residual poultry offal had to be treated, sterilized, and ultimately became a cost for this industry. What we can do is we can take these materials, fully sterilize it, stabilize it, and make it a long-term storable energy product, which then these facilities can use for their thermal energy demands. So what we're doing is we're removing cost from all disposal costs from their business, and what we're also doing is we're removing the demand and cost for thermal energy for their industry. So you can see here, for example, the nice looking cows there. I know that Scotland, of course, it's the British pound. There's severe price pressure because of the fluctuations in the pound and going across Europe. They're looking for a competitive advantage. What we can do is, generally speaking, we are working with the mushroom farmers as an example, and we can double the profitability of these farms, which then allows them to have a significant industry competitive advantage, not only nationally, but also across Europe and the rest of the world. When you look at the poultry situation, of course, I picked out a statistic that 11 out of the 28 poultry farms, privately held poultry farms in Scotland, have closed, largely because they lose contracts to the large distributors and supermarkets, and it's really a single-digit margin business. And what that means is if you can remove their disposal costs and remove their costs associated with thermal energy, you allow them to become more profitable and recapture the big contracts that are necessary for survival. So for Lorritus as a company, we have a couple of projects that we've built over the last 5-6 years of our work. We've actually just on Monday won a 2.5 million euro grant from the same as our friend here, Horizon 2020 SME instrument. So we're pretty excited about that for a new project. And we have patented designs in how we move the material through our systems, which we've defended 3 times, and it allows us to have unique efficiencies as well as highly rated efficacy in terms of how we process the material. So moving forward, we are looking to raise, well, we're happy to still, here it says 3.7 million. We do now have the grant as of Monday of 2.5 million euros. So we're looking to raise around 2 million pounds to help us execute the first project in one of the largest horticulture groups in Ireland and also in Europe. This horticulture cooperative does have a presence in Scotland, so perhaps it would be interesting if there was Scottish money available that we could do a second project within the cooperative. The nature of the cooperative is such that if you do improve the processes of one farm within the cooperative, naturally there's mass adoption across the cooperative to gain that economies of scale. So we see this as a real spark to light the fire to allow us to develop our economies of scale and our manufacturing. We do see ourselves as a company that wishes to manufacture the systems and distribute the systems, similar to the early biogas equipment manufacturers. They were doing biogas facilities, and now they're into large-scale manufacturing of the equipment. For our systems, we see ourselves as the same, as becoming a large-scale manufacturer and producer of these systems. And the market, as I said before, is really any form of organic material. So this is the food waste industry, this is the wastewater treatment facility, this is industry, and this is also, of course, the food processing industry. So with that, I'm happy to answer your questions at the appropriate time.
You'll get your chance.